Yo, what's up guys, it's Talon, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to truly learn in Wild Rift the actual complete best way to continue to constantly improve and truly improve in Wild Rift. And so initially, again, if you guys saw my video yesterday, you can see, this is the doc again with my main plan for this season of how to teach you guys and how to help you get better. And this will kind of feed into this video as well. But initially, we're going to focus on making some videos in the learning and mindset section, because in my opinion, you should understand how you want to approach learning before you go about learning, or else you're kind of going to be throwing yourself in the deep end without really having direction. And so the point of this video especially is to give you some level of direction as it goes to improving throughout the next season. And then I'll probably have some more videos within this section. Like I said, you should probably watch this first, spend your first day or two of the season, watch one or two of these videos and focus on that, and then go through, go get in the nitty gritty of the actual game once you have these types of things down. So I have a video, how to get better mental, and then again, we're going to kind of probably help you guys in terms of how to approach an individual season, which will be a video I'll probably make that'll come out tomorrow. And then how to truly learn and improve. These are kind of my two main videos. Maybe I'll think of a third one for mindset and learning, but that aside, I'm going to get straight into the video. So the first thing is this doc. This doc will be linked in all of my videos at the top of every description. This is where you're going to learn the most. It'll be, look at all the new ones, obviously not the old ones. This is where you're going to go to choose a concept. So the initial thing that you want to do, you want to find something to improve on. So again, let's say you feel like, okay, my laning or my wave management's not good. Well, I want you to go to this, video and be like, okay, well, what of these fits me? Does Baron lane fit me? Does a mage one fit me? Like, what do I play? Try to find that. And if you can't find one that pertains to your specific champion, watch a general one, because they're very similar. So like the wave management guide, or even watching how to lane, as a solo laner, as a Baron laner, they're very similar to laning in other lanes, and you can understand matchups as a whole. And then throughout the season, I'm going to get you, all these different videos so you can have one that actually pertains to your specific archetype or whatnot. So initially, again, you want to go about finding a concept, which you can do through these, through this doc, through my video playlist that lists, different roles, or obviously just searching things on YouTube. But how do you choose which concept specifically to learn from, or which one to, really do? Well, the main way that you're going to choose this is by identifying points of struggle in your game. So where do you struggle the most? Do you feel like you come out of lane phase down 500 gold and you're always having to come back? Well, then we'll probably focus on the lane phase initially. Do you feel like it's maybe the opposite, where you get leads and you don't know how to close games out? Well, then maybe go down here and find the playing from ahead one. I'm going to add some to this, obviously, work in progress, the doc, but find ones playing from ahead, or comebacks when you feel like you're, needing to come back and you feel like you're getting a, put behind and then you don't know what to do once you're behind. So basically, identify a point of struggle, or what you think is just the most important. So lane phase, for example, is more important than any other part of the game. If you understand lane phase, you're going to be pretty good. So, maybe going about that first. Just whatever's most important, or whatever you struggle with the most, that's what you want to do. Okay, so now we've chose a concept. What do we do now? Well, now we want to make a key list of points, and that's why I have this pulled up. So this is my plan for about the first 5 or so days of my season in terms of videos I want to make for you guys, which I'll do by focusing a live stream on each concept. So the first concept is assassin mid laning phase. And then I have all these concepts. I have punish the last hits, play around your level 2 or 3 advantage, trade around the runes. And I'm going to be talking about these things in the videos in the future. But what I want you to do when you watch one of my videos is not just copy my list, because you might already be really good at playing around level advantages. I don't want that on your list. I want you to, make it even shorter. 3, 4 points. Could be more, depending on what level you are. If you're a sovereign versus a gold, of course, you're going to have more or less to improve on. But make your own list based on my videos, based on learnings from other people's videos or streams, or from your own, just theory. And once you have that, then you're going to be golden as it relates to improving. So now after we've made this list, which again, we can do from watching my videos or whatever else we want to do, we now want to be looking at this before each game or each session of games. So if you log on, you play 4 games a day, minimum, look at it before you start any of your games. And, it's probably not a bad idea to look at it before every game, just like as you're in champ select or before champ select starts, whatever. And then during the game itself, you're only going to be thinking about this key concept. You're not going to be thinking about other things. So specifically just focus on, okay, well, did I punish their last hits there? And then evaluate it. Evaluate the success of your game based on that. Like, did you punish their last hits and maybe 1 or 2 other, like maybe you traded around runes well and you punished their last hits and that was all you wanted to think about, then you had a successful game. I don't care if after 4 minutes your teammates were 0 and 8, and you lost the game, and you know you lost your elo and you demoted back to diamond. I don't care. Like, that's not how you improve. The way you improve is you truly take those small wins, and then eventually, as you feel them become ingrained inside you, then you go to the next one. So it doesn't have to take a day. It could take a week. Like, for example, just think about it. I mean, laning phase is one of the most important parts of the game. It doesn't just have, you know, I don't know what just happened. I'm in the dictionary now. I don't know how that happened. Regardless, we'll go back here. So again, laning phase is one of the most important parts of the game. If you've improved on your laning phase, let's say a week from now, you became 10% better in lane. Well, laning, realistically, I mean, laning occurs for roughly like a third of the game, because it's from 0 minutes to about 6 minutes. So, you know, a third or a fourth of the game typically is lane phase. If you improve 10% at a third of the game, then you already improved, or at a fourth of the game, you know, you already improved by what, 2.5% or whatever it is. The point is you improved quite a bit. Like multiple percentage points of improvement is huge, and that only took you a week, you know? And then, okay, now it took me a week. I've built these habits. I go back onto the next ones. And then I only focus on those. So now I obsess over, let's say, assassin team fighting. And now that's the only thing I'm thinking about for the next week, or for the next 2 days or 4 days or a month, whatever you feel you need, you know, however long it takes you. And then you just keep going over that process over and over and over. That's how I've got about improving. Like, you guys have watched my journey of improving for 3 years, obviously, at this point, because I've been streaming for over 3 years. This is what I've done. And now at this point, you know, I've gotten to the point that I'm, you know, pretty high level player in NA, obviously able to climb. Like, when I started streaming, I was like a grandmaster peak player. I was not very good. And that improvement over time, you know, just again, doing this process, like, I genuinely made my own notes and did these things. And now I share it with you guys so that you guys can do a similar thing. So just again, overall, just take like the small wins. Like, we won that lane phase that we normally wouldn't have won in a hard matchup, or even smaller, we punished the last hits better, even if we ended up still losing lane. Just small details of your game and 1% improvements each day are really what actually lead to you being better. Like, this is just kind of how I approach a lot of things in life in general. I think there was a book called Atomic Habits I read when I was like 16. I'm 20 now, for those that don't know. But I think I was like 16. I read this book, and one of the big concepts is like improving 1% each day makes you, I don't remember the number, it might be like 37 times better after the course of a year. That might be made up. It's a, you know, you improve a lot over the course of a year. And if you're just truly focusing on just making a tiny improvement, even to a tiny part of your gameplay, and then constantly doing that, you're going to naturally become better, because realistically, most people don't actually get better at the game. Like, I can think of, I'm not going to say the players' names, but I can think of players who I previously viewed as super, super good when I was, you know, newer, and then I got better at the game, and now I view them as, you know, not as good or whatever, and I never really saw them improve. Like, they were maybe even really, really good players initially, considered to be so, and then they just kind of stayed that way because they never really tried to continue improving or focusing on these things. And so that's kind of how, again, stagnation happens, and obviously we don't really want that as it relates to improvement. So just because someone's currently a lot better than you, even if you're looking at me, like, there's no reason you can't eventually surpass me with these small habits, but it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of patience, and it's not just going to happen over the course of even a month or 2 months. And that kind of brings me to my last point, and that's valuing the process over the result. If we're looking first at outcomes, like, I have gotten the best outcomes in seasons where I did not concern myself with them. The last 2 seasons, I got rank 1, like last season, and then this most recent season that just happened, I obviously got 5 role sovereign. And these were the seasons where I like truly would tell myself each day, like, I had like a reminder set in my phone. I would wake up, and as soon as I wake up, I would see that every day. And I just said it's like process over outcome. And the reason that that's really important is because if you actually value all of the time that you're putting into whatever goal you're trying to achieve, you're going to get what you deserve out of it. Like, if you put in 4 hours a day or whatever it is for you, you know, I know people have jobs, people have, however much time you put in, if you put that in and you put that effort in intentionally, you're going to get the outcome you're seeking anyways. But if you're initially concerned with the result, then everything that doesn't immediately lead to that result feels super shit. So, for example, I mean, I still get tilted on lose streaks. I'm not saying I never do. And sometimes the outcome does come into my mind because I'm human and it's normal, like, especially when I get really close to a result. But every time that I start thinking about that, that's when I get tilted. That's when I get really frustrated. That's when I get really angry. And every loss is like, oh my God, well, now I'm even further from my goal. Oh, I was 5 marks from Sovereign and my goal was Sovereign. And now I'm 6 marks away. So I could have been 4 wins away. Now I'm 6 wins away because I just lost this game that I should have won. And constantly getting hung up on actually reaching that result is really the issue. And that's why, like, people think I muted my mic for the last couple of days of this push because I was trying to not flame my teammates. But the reason I did it is because I needed to just, like, basically zone everything else out and not focus on, when I would talk, like when I would be commentating the game, naturally the things that come to mind are like, oh, my teammates are doing this wrong, they're doing this wrong, whatever. When I would just focus on muting my mic and only focusing on the game, I would be concerned with just what I can do to win, and I would be telling myself, okay, just think about what to do next. So my teammate made a mistake, now what do I do to try to win after that? And just constantly focusing. Again, I know I'm kind of rambling at this point, but the overall point is that, again, we need to value the process of improvement, which is all of these things, making these notes, doing everything I've told you in this video, and have fun with that. Obsess over the fact that the game is really interesting. There's so many different unique things to learn, rather than focusing on the fact that your teammates suck, because your teammates do suck. I mean, Riot Games have at this point admitted that they literally admitted, like, yesterday, that they, or maybe it was today, but regardless, they said that Galio's Aegis won't be removed because they basically think that it's more important for people to feel good than to progress with the rank that they deserve. And so the point is, you should value not that result that Riot Games is basically handing to people for free, but the part of the game that's cool, which, like, learning all these different laning phase, team fighting, everything. These concepts are really fun to learn, and going about improving them and feeling yourself improve is way more satisfying than getting a random rank or whatever. And so I know that's going to make the video kind of long-winded, since that is a longer rant, but the point of these videos is to get my overall thoughts on a specific topic, and so I'd rather have the whole thing there rather than me, you know, just super concisely spitting out each point to you guys. And so again, to reiterate at the end, this doc is going to be your best friend, not this one, this one. It's called Key Wild Rift Concepts and Videos to Learn. Again, linked in the description of my videos. This will give you the concepts to learn. Then once you choose a concept, which you're going to choose based on your points of struggle or what you think are the most important, you're then going to make a key list of the things that you need to improve on specifically in regards to this mindset or this concept. And then when you're actually going about that, you're going to look at it before each game or each session that you play, and you're going to only focus during the game on those things. And that's how you identify success or failure, is going to be, did I properly think about and improve on these kind of concepts? You're going to value the small wins rather than, you know, trying to, again, win the game itself. That's not what's really important. Focus on the 1% improvement each day, and then again, value the process over the result. If you do these things, I don't see how you can't learn. Obviously, the more time you invest, you know, the better. But even if you're only playing for an hour a day or 2 hours a day, you're going to see improvement that is going to be larger than, you know, previous improvement that you've seen. And then as you get better and better, it kind of iterates on itself, where it's easier to improve the more, you know, the larger understanding of the game you have. So overall, that's kind of going to do it for the video, guys. I will be probably making 1 or 2 more videos related to mindset before we go into the actual, you know, nitty gritty of the game itself, getting to, you know, all these different types of videos to you guys. So I hope you enjoyed. If you could like or subscribe, I'd appreciate that, and I'll see you in the next video.